Old Holland is a paint brand that's known for its highly pigmented colors. They are a little bit on the expensive side, but today I'm testing out the set of 36 colors in half pan size, and I've never done this before, but I'm gonna try to use every single color in this set of 36 on a single painting. Not recommended, but we're gonna try it today. So to make it a little easier, I'm actually choosing a black subject. Now, why would that be easier? Because something that's black is really just made up of light and dark and medium values, and I can use whatever colors I want, and as long as the values are correct, it's still gonna look somewhat natural, hopefully. So I've already swatched out my 36 colors here, and they are gorgeous colors. There's a couple that are somewhat weak, like this green earth, for example. Some of the earth tones, which is a little bit surprising to me considering how hyped up these paints are. That said, green earth is kind of a weak color in every brand I've tried, so that's to be expected. But I'm really hyped about this manganese blue extra, the turquoise blue deep, the Old Holland magenta, dioxazine mauve. These are gorgeous colors, and the set is just packed with everything you could possibly need to paint just about anything. So let's grab a silver black velvet size 8 brush, and we're gonna paint a horse with every single color in this set. Let's get into it. And I'm just gonna have my color chart right next to me over here so that I can keep track of which colors I'm using in the set. Got my water jar. What should we start with? How about some fun background colors? This might be my opportunity to use some of the blues, and all of them if I can, and yellows, because we're gonna make some interesting greens and sky color. So let's start with this Old Holland blue gray. It's kind of a muted tone, and I can use it to splash some color in. That's a lovely sky color. And I'm gonna need to put it in a couple of spots just for harmony and balance. Working quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and dig into this one next to it. This is that turquoise blue deep. Oh, that is gorgeous. My goal here is also to leave some sunspots coming through, so it looks like a mottled green, verdant background behind our horse. Let's go to cobalt blue next. Gorgeous cobalt blue. Challenging myself to create harmony by scattering these colors kind of across from each other. Next color is French Ultramarine Light Extra. What is the light extra, you might wonder? No idea. Every brand has their own version of all of these kind of staple pigments. Next one is Manganese Blue Extra. Looks gorgeous right there on the palette. Let's see how it looks on the paper. Just as gorgeous. Let's get a little more water in here. Ooh, I'm liking this background so far. Next blue, Indigo Extra. This is gonna be a dark one, so I may want to be somewhat sparing with this color. This might be a really great color actually inside of the horse. I could create darks with just about any of these, so okay, what's next? This one is Blue Lake. Oof, that's like a phthalo blue, green shade. I have that in core, and it's one of my staples on my palette, so an important color for me anyway. Let's balance it out up here at the top. Nice. And then the next blue is Prussian Blue Extra. Where am I gonna put all these blues? Let's put it in the neck here. Nice. That's a little bit more muted than that Blue Lake, not quite as strong. Then here is Payne's Gray. Great dark. Payne's Gray is such a useful color. I typically do have it on my palette, or indigo, something similar. And I can use that to start to block out some of my darks. Now, before I keep going with the blues, I've worked my way all the way across, all of them except for this violet gray. Let's put a little of that into the shine on the horse up here. That's pretty. Now, let's go for the yellows, because while this is still damp, I need to get some yellow in my background, just to suggest or hint at foliage. So we'll start with, that was Cadmium Yellow Lemon, and this one next to it is called Schwenningen Yellow Light. Nice. So now we're starting to see some wild greenery appearing. This one is Gamboge Lake Extra. It's a warm yellow. And my background has started to dry a little bit, so I need to be careful to match the wetness level of my brush, the wetness level of the background. That's all the yellows I've got except for these earth tones. So let's dig into these now. This one is yellow ochre light. Throw some of that over here. It's starting to look like a lot of color now, isn't it? It's somewhat unavoidable. This one is raw sienna light. Very useful color for skin tones. Again, we're just trying to balance these out. Let's put some more of this Old Holland violet gray up here. That's a gorgeous color. Leaving some spackles of white too. And don't forget, we also still have greens, so let's do those next. This one is that green earth. It's kind of a weak color. So I'm thinking maybe I'll use this in some of the lighter values in the face. Remember, our horse is going to be a bunch of colors too to make black. And it's going to be darker than the background for the most part. So this is just giving us something to start with. You know what? I'm going to grab some more of this. What was that color? Old Holland blue gray to put above his head. And I'm seeing some really cool blooms right here too. It's exciting. Okay, for my greens, I also have an olive green dark. That's this one here. Somewhat more of a natural color. Put that here in the shade, in the shadow. Trying to use big, bold brush strokes. Not too concerned about blending. Temptation is to overwork these colors or use too much of the same color. I kind of tend to just get lazy and stick with the same color for a while. This one is Hooker's Green Lake Deep Extra. Oh, that's pretty. Pop some of that in to the horse's head. And here, I'm trying to just completely ignore color in my reference image and just focus on value.
If you're enjoying this tutorial and you like the way I teach, I'd love to invite you to join my Watercolor Mastery membership. It's where I go much deeper with fully narrated, step-by-step, real-time tutorials, daily challenges, and a wonderful private community of artists who are all growing together. It's the perfect place if you're ready to take your watercolor painting to the next level. And if you're not quite ready to join, no worries. I also have a free watercolor class you can take to get a feel for my teaching style. You'll find links to both the membership and the free class in the description below. I'd love to paint with you.
So it looks really weird right now, but don't worry, it's going to come together, I hope. Old Holland Golden Green. This is more of a yellow. It's a yellow green. Let's try that out. Again, here in the forehead, light values. I can see how that could be very useful in landscapes. Sap Green Lake Extra. Extra awesome, extra pigmented. Extra super duper green. That's beautiful too. Some of you may have seen a video I did where I painted a Frisian horse the same way. I guess I'm not too original with my own ideas. I tend to repeat them, but I just had so much fun with that one, creating a black horse using only rainbow colors. And that's what I'm doing here today too, because why not? It's a great way to experiment with a new palette of paint colors that you've never tried, and I'm having so much fun with this. Wow, this Schwenningen Green Deep is gorgeous. And now I've already made my way back to the blues. So now it's time to start inserting some warmth in here. So let's use this dioxazine mauve, basically a dioxazine purple or violet, and it can get very dark, not quite black, but very dark purple. So let's pop this in some of the darkest areas, right here on the neck. And I still have some wetness here, so the colors are blending nicely. Now when you put purple over the top of green, you can get a gorgeous, almost black shadow tone. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is Old Holland, Bright Violet. Put some of that in the forehead here. Now, here's where I'm gonna start moving back and forth between colors I've already tried and some of my new colors, and just using rainbow colors, whatever feels right to me. So this is more of that Old Holland Violet Gray. Let's come back to these violets over here. This one is Old Holland Magenta. Gorgeous pink. Can imagine using that for floral paintings. Now this paint spreads beautifully. We're seeing some lovely blooms happening with all the water I'm using. I haven't been too careful about keeping it dry, so there's a lot of water going on here. But that's part of the fun, part of the experiment. I want to see what happens when. And I'm just so curious about these colors too. So far, they're living up to the hype with the pigment, that's for sure. Just gorgeous. Let's take this brilliant pink and pop that in here. This color appears to have some white in it. It's sort of a pastel. Put some of that over here in these highlight areas. And then moving on to this Alizarin Crimson Extra, Lake Extra. Another extra color. Well, that is extra fab. Loving that. Now here I gotta be careful that my values don't get too dark. It's starting to run away from me. I am loving the rainbow colors. Okay, this color is Cadmium Red Light. That is very vibrant. Where are we gonna put this one? How about here, and here, and here? So the horse is starting to emerge. He's still looking a little sloppy. Let's take some more blue, manganese blue hue, paint that over the mane. And we can even take some of this peach color, which we haven't used yet. This is called Naples Yellow Reddish Extra. That's pretty. Pop that into the lighter valued areas here. I actually really kind of like these white pigmented ones. You can tell that they have white when they're a little bit more pasty looking, but there's a time and a place for colors like that, that's for sure. This one is Old Holland Red Gold Lake. It's an orangey red. Very nice color. I haven't used my earth tones yet. So let's start going in with some bold earth tones, starting with this Van Dyke Brown. And browns are just too realistic for this painting, I think. Let's swipe along that jaw, darken that whole thing. I am going to use the black. This is Ivory Black Extra, and paint the strong shadows in the horse and the eye, painting around the highlight. Let's use this one. This is Raw Umber. Paint that right in there. And then we'll go for this one, which is Burnt Umber. Use that under the eye, just starting to carve out some of the anatomy. The Ivory Black lifts nicely. I accidentally made a mark there that I shouldn't have put. That's helping. Burnt Sienna is next. That's this reddish color. Now, unfortunately, when I opened these pans, the pigment numbers were not listed, which is really unusual for an expensive set of paints like this. So I think you may have to just go to Old Holland's website if you want to know what the exact pigments are that they use for each color. Like I said, normally it's listed on the packaging, and so I was a little disappointed in that the colors were not, pigment numbers were not labeled. Okay, spending a lot of time with that Burnt Sienna. That's a nice color. I think we've used all of them now. Woo! And it looks like it. Okay, so now I'm gonna just choose a select few to stick with. Let's stick with this blue, this manganese blue, and maybe the ultramarine that's next to it. And I'm gonna start to darken and carve out shape. The more pure I can leave the colors, the better, I think. But we need to adjust the values a bit. So, more color. Let's take some yellow. Surefire way to give it more of a presence. There we go. Now we're talking. Big, bold yellow brush strokes. Having such fun with this. Certainly is challenging. I feel like a colorblind painter just going in guns a-blazing with whatever colors I see. I actually wish I couldn't see the color right now, because that would make it easier to see the value. But something you can do is take a picture of your artwork and desaturate the photo in your phone, and that's how you can check if your values are close or not. You've probably heard this before, but values do all the heavy lifting in a painting, but color tends to get the credit. And I am not a color expert, that is for sure. Okay, what does it need? More violet. Have no idea what I'm doing, but we're having fun. Okay, let's reach for the Payne's Gray. Go really dark with the muzzle here. And then we can use that to carve out some hairs of the mane, forelock. Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. More green. That's what I'm talking about. This color really is so vibrant. Now, if I wasn't just butchering it to death by layering and layering, we'd probably be able to see the colors a little more purely. But since I didn't get the values right on the first pass, it's a little bit hard to tell what the colors are in their pure form. There are some spots where you can really see them doing some magical things together. That's nice. Green over violet is one of my favorite mixes. So at what point do we put our brush down and stop? Good question. I feel like that is it. Right there. Well, it's a mess, but I did it. I used every color in the Old Holland set of 36 classic watercolors. Thanks for experimenting with me today. I had a blast. I'll leave a link in the description to this exact set if you want to try it for yourself. Happy painting, friends!